The fact that Zard cannot one-shot this Jinx is crazy. That's insane, man. This has Rock Tomb, right? Okay, Curse, I think is the out. Easy, now we just win, right? Because we can just switch back and forth here. I'm just faster, right? Easy. Pretty good tech. I mean, the only reason I was able to do that is because I got a curse off. Like, that looked way better than it actually is. Because I needed to get that curse through without getting, like, rock tombed, right? I guess I did get rock tombed once, right? I don't know. Okay. So, the way we talked about this tier list was, B tier is like, it does something. Like, it at least is good at, like, beating random trainers, or, like, Pidgeot has, like, Feather Dance strats in E4. Like, it does something. I am still struggling to figure out what the f Zard actually does. I think Butterfree's B tier, because it's just, like, supportive glue. If you're missing something for a fight, it can super help out. Omastar is really good for E4. Gives, Rival, Blastoise. I think that is arguably the worst thing about Zard, is that you have to face both Arcanine and Exeggutor, which means you face both Arcanine and Exeg. And, like, for example, if Rival has a Gyarados, you're already bringing an electric type there anyway, right? So I think Zard is C tier. I almost want to put it in F because of how much it actively hurts your run. I think I'm down for that. Like, genuinely, I don't know where there is a fight where Zard competes with any other Mon that you can have at that. Like, where Zard is the best Mon at that point. Even if you have shit encounters or whatever, like, it just hurts your early game so much. Okay, Raichu just sits here in A tier with all the other electric types. Not much else to talk about. I'm not really sure about Jolteon yet, but, like, Magneton is so much better. And Electrode can boom, Electrode can light screen. Okay. Sandslash. It's B tier. It does something. It helps you beat random trainers in the early game. Ninetales. B tier, I think. I don't really see what would make this A tier. Decent stats, decent speed, early flamethrower. We're going to look at Parasect one more time because I want to see if it does anything in early game. Golbat, at B tier, it solos Erica and doesn't do anything else. That's good enough for B tier. Vileplume we haven't tested yet. Venomoth somehow lands in A tier for being a pretty decent E4 Mon. That's enough. If you are seriously a contender for the E4, that's enough for A tier. Butterfree is at least as good. Well, the main reason I disagree with you is because it can't tank a Rock Tomb. And Venomoth can. That's what makes it good on Bruno. Okay. Nidoqueen. How did we feel about Nidoqueen? I think it's A. I think it's good early and it's good coverage, allows it to, like, fill some gaps and stuff. It probably doesn't come to E4, but it can come to, like, every other fight in the game. I think that's enough for A tier. I genuinely think Nidoking is worse, but not by a lot. How did we feel about Kadabra, lads? I wrote down insane for random trainers, great for Surge, solos Erica, no need to use valuable Psychic TM, solos Koga, very reasonable E4 Mon. I kind of rescind that. I think it's a niche E4 Mon if you have good stats and maybe a Twisted Spoon. I think all those things combine to make an A tier Pokemon. We have not tested Machamp yet. Victory Bell, this thing fucking sucks ass. I don't think it does anything. I guess there's some points in the early game where you kind of need, you know what? Just the fact that it can come to Misty, it can prop up your Misty team a little bit, probably makes it low B tier. Did Graveler do anything? Yeah, I think Graveler is B tier. I think it's super overrated. Like, its typing is enough to be in B tier of just, like, yeah, you can bring this on, like, any random fight, and it's probably pretty decent on Koga, but seriously not very good. Slowbro was so interesting. It's such a polarizing Mon. Like, losing to Arcanine makes it such a bad water type for E4. It's not very good versus Dragonite, but it's really good versus Bruno. And I would say it's okay for Lorelei. I would call it a niche E4 mon, along with Venomoth, and put it in A tier because of that. Magneton. It's definitely the best electric type. I wonder if it's S tier. Probably not. Because realistically, it's only really used in the E4. The reason Venusaur is S tier is it's really good throughout the entire game. You know? I think it's high A. It's one of the best E4 Pokemon for sure. Maybe that'll be enough for S tier, because there's not going to be a lot of S tier mons. Dugong was high A tier. This is very similar to Omastar. What a great E4 mon. I guess I didn't really test around with Calm Mind at all, but... Haunter. I think it's A. I think it's got tech on E4, although it's very niche. It's a ghost type, and it solos Koga, which is an important fight to be able to do. And I think there's probably a lot more you can do with it. There's a lot of skill expression with this Pokemon that we didn't really explore this run. I think Haunter's easily A tier. Exeggutor is pretty impressive. I think it's also around like the Dugong Omastar thing where it's like... It's probably S tier. It's not because you get it so late, but it's definitely up here. I don't know. Zard is the only Pokemon so far that I can think of that actively makes your run worse if you get it. Maybe the other one is Farfetch'd because you trade away something way better. Weezing disappointed me, man. I thought this would actually do something on E4, but it doesn't. I think it's C. I think it doesn't have any value. I'm going to put Weezing in very low B tier because I think it has very, very niche E4 applications. I wanted Hitmonlee to be good, but... Marowak is going to live in C tier because it's Sandslash, but you get it way too late. Hitmonlee... I still think that bringing Hitmonlee for Lapras is, like, okay. But it's so bad otherwise. I think it's B. We talked about Pinsir already. I'm not going to go back and test it. This thing is C. Exactly like Flareon is what I wrote. I guess I put Flareon in B, huh? Yeah, he can sit next to it. He can beat random trainers. C tier, I feel like, is basically like by the time you get this, you always have better options. You know? Starmie is S tier because it's the best E4 Pokemon in the game. But it's Leaf Green only. Then we had... Did we test anything else? I think that was it, right? I guess we... Oh, Vaporeon. I think it's A. I think it's not as good as Dugong, but it's... very reasonable E4 mon. It's a very reasonable E4 water type. Seeking and Seadra. Drazweiss? Oh, there's Seadra. All the whatever water types just kind of go in B tier. Of like, hey, you can do something on Blaine, and if I'm really desperate, I can maybe bring you to E4. Although, arguably, if C tier is you always have something better by the time you get this, then that's where Seeking and Seadra go. Agree? Porygon is just F tier, right? So is Ditto. I don't think we need to talk about them. Unless there's some crazy E4 tech that Ditto has, but I can't imagine what it would be. Okay, we looked at Aerodactyl. I could have gotten it, and I was like, this doesn't do anything. I think Aero is C tier. By the time you get Aero, it does nothing, right? This doesn't do anything on E4. Okay, we don't have that much left to test. I think we can do all this in one more run. I guess outspeeding the Gengars with Aero is kind of nice, huh? We can test that next run. We agree, though, that Machoke doesn't do anything, right? So we have to test all the random like Safari Zone encounters, I guess. Like a lot of these I can already tell how they're going to be, but okay. We don't have a lot left to test. We'll do one more run, then we're done with this. All right, just for my ego real quick. Let me actually beat this E4. What do I use for this? Vaporeon? Why did I do that? Okay. Yeah, Dugong 1v1ing this is like so fucking valuable though. Free. Okay. Oh yeah, the fact that it baits Rhydon too. Kind of crazy. Okay, let's try to play this one as an actual run. Because then the last one was reviving mons all the time, but I'll probably end up doing that anyway, right? But let's try to not lose anything. I mean, we're using pretty OP mons this time. Okay, literally nothing left here in the early game for me to get. I will be getting a Spearow to get Farfetch'd. That's a thing, right? I kind of already know that Farfetch'd is going to be F'd here, but... Okay, early game here, we're going to test Jigglypuff. We're going to test early Paras. We're going to test, I mean, that's pretty much Oddish. That's pretty much it up to Misty, I think. Oh, Clefairy. Right. Well, we only get one Moonstone. Is there any way... When is the earliest second Moonstone? Is there two in Mount Moon? Let's look at Jigglypuff Learn Set. See if we want anything for Evo. Because I think we're just going to teach like Mega Punch or something. Body Slam 34. Yeah, this is looking like a very obvious C tier Pokemon. What about Clefairy Learn Set? Does this thing got anything interesting? Moonlight at 37. Hey, this does get Encore, actually. Is there even a fight where you'd want Encore tech? Maybe on, like, Agatha? I'm gonna delay Clefable evolution to get Moonlight. Oh, yeah. Gyarados. Duh. I think Gyarados is somehow gonna end up in B tier. Okay, we're looking for a Paras and a Clefairy. We're gonna try out late game Clefable with Moonlight and Encore, so we're actually not gonna evolve it here. And then we're gonna test all these guys on Misty together with Oddish. Go through Nugget Bridge and pick up an Oddish. You're gonna hit one of these. I believe in you. Clefairy, I literally don't believe in you. Okay. I'm telling you guys, Gyarados kinda sucks. I'm just gonna say it. Can Paris beat this? Maybe the answer is no, huh? It like doesn't have a chance actually. Well, I kinda f***ed myself, huh? Okay, we gotta use the overleveled Wigglytuff. It is what it is. We're gonna miss all these Mega Punches. I don't think Big P helps that much on Misty, does he? I mean, like, paralyzing, like, Starmie is kind of enough, I think. To recommend EK or Run and Bun? Probably EK first. I don't know, it's different games. Depends on what you like about playing Drayano games. Do you like the calcing more? I mean, like, you gotta calc for both. Honestly, Run and Bun's probably just better, but it like requires so much more patience than like in a different way. Like it's just so much more to do. It's so much more work. Like the nice thing about EK is there's a bunch of fights that you can just kind of do for free. All right, let's do some Misty testing. Okay, Gyarados first. Can all of these guys solo this fight in theory? Probably not. Gyarados definitely can. Gloom definitely can. Quite easily, actually. This Wigglytuff is one level too high, but... Let's find those Mega... Holy sh... That's actually, like, pretty good damage by my boy Big P. Look at this. He's owning. Okay, so Wigglytuff probably can't, but it helps. I never got the fucking second Moonstone, so I can't test Fable right now, but I'm assuming it's very much the same. Alright, Big P, can you solo? Probably not, right? Yeah, no shot. You know, I think PP is an issue, huh? Yeah. What if you poison powder this instead? I think we have a shot. And out damages you. But like he can potentially do it. Now Wartortle. I think if you teach Mega Punch. But even without it, honestly, like... Okay, if I had Perzimberry there... Okay. And he can't solo, but... Not much else to explore in early game here from my perspective. I guess I kind of want to see how all these Andrews do on, like, on Surge, but... It's honestly not a big deal. I guess I also want to see, like... how Diglett does, and then later on. I just can't think of any place where Doug Trio does anything. I mean, we're trying it this attempt, but... does Diglett even give you free Surge? They still have, like, normal type moves. I think Surge is, like, pretty easy if you have 6 Mons. My theory is it's, like, kind of just bad, but... Like, I can't really think of any fight where, like, specifically Doug Trio... When does it get Earthquake? Let's find that out. Like, what, are you going to, like, Sabrina and one-shotting, like, Zam or something with it? It's not happening, right? Earthquake at 51? You're not bringing it to E4. I think it's just, like, F tier. Genuinely, guys, I think Gyarados is going to end up in B or C tier. Okay, let me pick up Drowsy. Does Lickitung get any interesting moves, or can we just, like, put it into F tier? Yeah, this doesn't get anything. Okay. I think Drowsy's gonna end up being pretty okay. I think Hypno has some E4 applications. Let's get Diglett. Yeah, I can see Hypno on Bruno and Agatha being pretty good. I probably should have taught Headbutt there, huh? Do you get Parasect on this split? You do. That's pretty good for Surge. That's pretty good for Surge. Can I beat Ivysaur with this team? I didn't look at my team comp like at all. Oh, I should have gotten Farfetch'd. Nah, it's got this guy has pretty fucking good stats. Yeah, this is where having Headbutt would be really nice. Now I gotta like pound. Or I guess just switch. Dude, this Kadabra is fucking destroying me. I'm gonna lose to Ivysaur here, I think. Drowsy with the very disappointing damage output there. But he got there. Okay, Farfetch'd, do you know what you gotta do for the team? Well, I guess the thing about Farfetch'd is you're training it for a Spearow, which we already also put in, like, C tier, so... Farfetch'd gonna go nutty on Erica? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. Personally. Okay, so, first question. Does Diglett actually solo this? Like, he gets 2-shot by Quick Attack. I can tell you that much. Okay, but he does probably usually solos it. But, like, not even reliably, right? Like, I don't know. Okay, now, here's the real fucking Surge counter. It's fucking Dig Parasect, boys. Watch this guy work his magic. Witness him. What a god. You do need to teach dig for this to work, but okay, now we try to beat it with the rest of the team. Try digless. I don't think it's gonna work. You get dig and Celadon anyway, right? So oh my god, Wigglytuff. Yeah, I think Gloom is like not him. I think we can be real. You know what? Actually, okay, yeah, this is. You know, actually, like you don't win, but you do enough. I think if you have 6 Pokemon, I think the thing is Surge is just kind of a joke, right? Yeah, I don't know why you're out either. Far-fetched. I really don't know. I don't know what you're doing here. That Leech Life actually does a pretty good amount of damage to Raichu. Okay. Anyway. I don't think we need to, like, talk about Far-fetched. Like, we can test him on Erica. It'd be kind of cool to know if he can solo it, but he can't, right? And, like, I think, genuinely, from this point on, when do you get Diglett out of the box? What is the fight where you're like, it's time, little bro? It's probably B tier. It's low B tier. Because it does do one thing, which is make sure that you can definitely beat Surge. Did I even need cut? I feel like I didn't need cut. Because it's in this house, right? Oh, I could have tested Mr. Mime on Surge. I probably would have done pretty well. Okay, so something doing well on Surge probably doesn't influence its rating too much, seeing how there is Diglett. Early Light Screen is kind of sick. This might be a really good Pokemon. Yo, this coverage? Substitute his ass here. Hold on, Mr. Mime. Confusion Magical Leaf is actually really nice coverage for this part of the game. Like, I feel like you hit, like, everything super effectively. For sure, Squirk. Okay, I'm about to lose to this Wild Duck Trio, guys. Hold on. Gulp. Yeah, so lead with a flying type when going through here. Okay. Okay, watch Mr. Mime solo, like, everything that's coming up. I'm telling you, this Pokemon, so good for this portion. What's my level cap? It's like 29, right? Like, genuinely, I think every Pokemon that you face here is one-shot by Mr. Mime. It's so perfect for a Rock Tunnel. It's like either Slowpokes, or like Poison types, or Machokes. Or Geodudes or Rhyhorns. I guess the main downside is you don't have Kadabra, which we've determined to be pretty strong. And again, I'm still kind of wondering, what the fuck does Gyarados do? I mean, Intimidate is good, I will say. This gets Encore? Bro. Call me crazy. This is like an A-tier Pokemon. This is so good. 29. It gets Psybeam for fucking Erica. Bro. Psychic at 43? Which is in time for Koga? You can teach this Thunderbolt too. I think this is an E4mon for sure, Mr. Mime. I think it's always timid too, right? Because it's fucking traded. I think Gyarados is probably good for Kangaskhan. But that's kind of where it ends, I think. No? Do I even need to test Onix for anything? Don't we just already know that it's fucking C tier? Like, it's probably... You know what? If you get it, having it for Kangaskhan is probably nice, right? That's the extent of what it's useful for. I don't need to catch it to know that. What's the Growlithe set looking like? Because the nice thing about Ninetales was that you get Flamethrower really early. Yeah, I know you can just buy it, but you're stuck on Flame Wheel here, which is probably fine. It's just like fire types don't do anything in this game. I want to see if Flame Wheel Arcanine, how it does into Erica, I guess. Also, it's just got good stats, man. We'll teach it Secret Power. It'll be pretty good. Or I guess we can test late game Arcanine, huh? But like, what is the benefit of waiting for a level 14? Like, what fight are you going to use Arcanine with Extreme Speed and Flamethrower on? It's probably pretty good in E4, actually. This is like the exact type of Pokemon that a lot of E4 teams are missing. It's just like a something to kill Executors with, slash, I guess in this run, Venusaur. Intimidate, Stat Check, you know. I have nothing to say about Blastoise that doesn't already apply to like every other water type. The one thing... Okay, so the one thing about Wartortle that differentiates it from all the other million water types that you get later on is... the one thing is that you have it for Misty and it's got Bite. Oh, we also got to test Dodrio this run. Which, I'm not going to lie, I don't know if it's going to do that much. I'm not sure. Like, it's probably pretty good on, like, Sabrina and, like, a bunch of, like, just, like, random rival fight. I think you could probably bring it to E4, like... Oh, not a good start, Hypno. The fact that you don't have Psybeam kind of makes this a little cringe. Let's try again. Can I hypnotize turn 1? Maybe like this? That looks a lot better. How much damage do you do? Okay. So, I mean, you can't solo, but, like, it helps, I guess. Hypno is going to be really hard for me to rate. Okay, so the problem here... Yeah, is you don't have a kill, do you? Ooh, Mr. Mime, you're not looking good. Holy sh! He's still, like, kind of pushing through. If you just have a Cherry Berry, like... Just want to for fun test Chiding. Like, every Erica strategy gets so much better if you just have a Cherry Berry. You know what? Chiding? Hello? The f***? Okay. Not bad. But, like, Fearow should do the exact same thing, right? Dude, look at how bulky Mr. Mime is there, by the way. Okay, I want to try one thing for this run. And that's to not, like, overly level now. Just to make the rocket hideout and the tower a little bit more difficult. And a little bit more in line with how the average player experiences them, maybe. I think this is definitely one we want to break out the Gyarados. Man... Gyarados is just not good in this game. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I mean, these are some nice one-shots. I will admit that. But, like, when have we ever struggled with these trainers, you know? I feel like, and you guys can correct me here, I feel like most threatening Pokemon that you face in this game are special attackers. Oh, dude, Mr. Mime's the perfect fucking Pokemon for these guys. You Magical Leaf the Shrews. You Psybeam the Snakes. Look at that. That, like, grass poison coverage is just, like, so incidentally perfect for this game. You hit so much super effectively. Like, am I crazy? Okay, there's the Kanga. So this is where Gyarados, I think, is really nice, right? It still doesn't do damage, but getting that one Intim on this, I think, is, like, kind of huge. And now you can go, like, here. Okay. Intim helps with Kanga. Despite secret power, it's hard to find a fight where this guy helps. Guys, is this world record pace, by the way? Okay, I have something for Venusaur or Ivysaur or whatever. I got something for Gyarados. I think this team is fine. Let's just keep going. Shockwave one-shotting there is pretty crazy. What the fuck? Jolteon? Stop, chill. That was with Shockwave. What the fuck? Insane. Okay, we're actually gonna use Lax this run. But honestly, I think it's mostly about like, oh yeah, this guy's like the perfect Sabrina counter. And he's probably very good on E4. Although I'm kind of starting to wonder where I'm gonna use him in E4. I mean, he's just kind of good everywhere, right? Come on, that's not fair. I was just about to say how good Chiding is. Whoops. I wanna test Farfetch'd on Sabrina, I think. Oh, dude, we're gonna have to spend a lot of time in Safari Zone. Who do we want to test on Koga? We gotta test Hypno. We gotta test Mime, who actually gets Psychic without the TM, which is fucking crazy. Yeah, I don't even know where I would rate Rapidash. We have to get all the fucking Safari Zone encounters now, guys. It's gonna be really, really AIDS, but I also don't want to... I don't necessarily want to, like, PK-hex them. I don't know. I probably should, huh? I'm just not going to include the legendary birds in the rating. Because realistically... Or should I? I feel like a lot of people do get them, right? Like, Moltres wouldn't be in because we're not doing islands. And then Zapdos would obviously be S tier because it goes crazy on E4. And then Articuno, I don't even know. I guess it's interesting to think about. Maybe I should test them. I think we don't even have to talk about... Like, we don't even have to test Zapdos to know that it's S tier, right? I'm going to test Articuno. I just want Psyduck. Is this worth it? Like, I know exactly where it's rated. I don't even need to... Yeah, f this. It's exactly where Seadra is. I don't need to test it. Okay. Let's go into the Safari Zone. Get a Rhyhorn there. Tentos for later. Rapidash we're skipping. We need Dodrio. We're gonna ignore Lickitung and put it in F tier. Okay, now we gotta go pick up Scyther. I mean, Scyther's just... What does it do? We can do some testing with it. Like, can you just set up Swords Dance with it and click Secret Power? I feel like it does some things. Maybe on Sabrina? Sometime next year is when we're going back to Crystal Kaizo Plus. I think this guy has potential. Specifically on Sabrina. I think that's probably it. Doesn't even get Brick Break. Okay. That's pretty bad. Okay. Okay. I think that's it. I think now we just PK hex the 1% Safari encounters, right? I think I have everything else that I can get right now. I don't need to test Magmar. And everything else is after Surf. I do want to test Blastoise a little bit on E4 because I think it's got the stats to be an E4 Watermon. I wonder if Kabutops is going to do anything. Probably not. Can you get Rock Slide on it? Okay, you just slap Brick Break and Surf on Poliwrath and it goes crazy. I think Poliwrath is an E4 Mon, and it's a pretty fucking good one. I think maybe it's maybe the best Lapras counter in the game. This is for sure the easiest game to test, I think. Emerald is pretty easy. Gen 7 will be a nightmare. I don't think I'm doing Gen 7. Gen 5 is probably kind of straight. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the other gens that much. I can tell you that much. I should teach strength to this guy. Dude, Tauros is going to end up in, like, B tier. I don't even want to talk about where Kangaskhan is about to end up. Kanga's a reversal mon with what speed? What are you talking about? That didn't do a lot of damage. That backspread of Kangaskhan is fucking adorable, and it's a shame we don't get to see it more often. I said it. I won't apologize. I feel like everyone I have on this team right now is going to solo Sabrina, by the way. Sabrina's really not that much of an issue in this game, huh? How are you getting outsped by this fucking Nidoqueen, bro? Explain yourself.